Hi all, this is Sia Naz and welcome to episode 96 of the Diary of Sia Naz. So we're getting up there, only 4 more episodes to go. So finishing this podcast, and I think the next podcast that I want to do next year will be only music because that's really what I want to do. So today it's been a really warm day, very hot. I'm reading through my fluffy rainbow unicorn diary, and let's start the week. So the week started on the 9th of November. So gosh, November already, December, and Christmas just around the corner. The year's gone by so fast, which is really good because it's been a shocking year for a lot of people. Well, literally for the whole world, but for quite a few families that were affected by COVID. And I have to say, we've had some family that have passed away from COVID in Greece, so that was a surprise. And also, a man who lived down the street from us got COVID as well and passed away too, so that's really sad. So I think everyone's probably been affected by it in one way or another. So let's start with the week. So the week started on Monday, and on the Monday, I edited, uploaded, and promoted my podcast as I always do. So this week's been a bit more music focused, and I watched on Netflix. I watched ZZ Top, that little old band from Texas. I am a ZZ Top fan. I used to be really big into heavy metal when I was younger. Not that this is heavy metal, but I really did enjoy a lot of hard rock and heavy metal, and I'm a fan of ZZ Top, and it was really interesting to see their story because I didn't know anything about them really, just that they're very unusual kind of looking, and which is wonderful. And yeah, just to watch how they started and how they knew each other and were together, and then in a different band, and then they came together again later, and that they had a lot of issues, and then they just kept at it, and yeah, just kept putting out music and doing what they felt was right for them, which is really important because I know a lot of artists are pressured by record companies, but I think it's easier if you're in a band because that way there's more of you to be on the same page, like to stand up for each other. Whereas when you're with whereas when you're an artist on your own, it's only you, and it's easier for people to influence you. So I think that's really important for artists to really try as much as possible to do what they want, how they want it. And yeah, we get more original people, more original music. So that'd be really good. So I really enjoyed ZZ Top, this documentary. So I definitely check it out. It's on Netflix. And of course, after I saw the documentary, then I went back and listened to heaps of ZZ Top that I hadn't heard in a long time. So that was really nice. I also watched Bond Quantum of Solace on Monday as well, which is one of my favorite Bond movies. And I really love the scene where he points up, and when he points up, so he's on that rope, and they've dropped their guns, and he's trying to reach it, and he grabs for it, and then he turns up and he shoots. I just think that's really, the angle and everything's really cool. And this is also the movie where the girl is in black oil on the bed, and I think that's such an iconic scene as well. So yeah, they're the two things that I remember most in this movie. So that was on Monday, and then on Tuesday I edited the video podcast, and I watched American Factory on Netflix. So American Factory, so I like to watch different types of documentaries, and American Factory is about this factory that opened up in Omaha, I think it was, and it was opened up by a Chinese businessman, and it just shows you how different. It's really well done, which is why I think it won an Oscar. And it shows you both sides. So it shows you the American way of life and the Chinese way of life, and how different they are, and how they try to make things work. And the union thing is really frustrating, how they got the company to come in and sort of dissuade them from becoming a union. They didn't say it in those terms, but they just gave them points on not being in a union, and it'd be worse if they did. So it's really sad. And apparently these company or these types of companies used quite a lot, and apparently this company was paid $1 million to come in and sort of dissuade them from being in a union. So it's really sad. And the worst part is the pay. Like they said, the Americans were saying that in this factory, it was a General Motors factory, and they were earning about $29 an hour. But now with a Chinese company, they're only earning $14 an hour, and I think that's really sad. Like that's really, really bad. uh but it was really interesting to watch. Tuesday, and yeah, lots of housework, heaps of stuff. Wednesday, started Christmas shopping, got some Lego for my nephew who absolutely loves Lego, and he saw this Lego box and it cost a small fortune, but there's only one nephew, so he's getting a bit spoiled, but he's becoming really materialistic, which is really worrying us. He keeps saying he wants more, 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 which is not good. So my sister said stop buying him stuff, but he's so cute. And she said, stop buying him books, and because we love to read, I love to read, and we read to him, and stop buying books and toys and stuff because yeah, he's getting really materialistic. So, and I buy him a lot of chocolate, and he's gonna be getting a filling soon. It's gonna be a filling, or is it getting his tooth pulled? I think he's getting it pulled, and he's 8, so it's not good. So yeah, he gets spoiled a lot. So Wednesday, Mum had a major breakdown. Geez, they're always exciting days, those ones. What a treasure. I listened to some beats for some inspiration. So on Reddit, there's some really cool rooms that you can go into, rooms, forums, I don't know what you call them, but these really cool places that you can go into for beat makers and hip hoppers and things like that. And people post their beats, and it's just a really good way to listen to what people are doing. And I listen out for song structure, because it's easy to make a beat. Like you can make the same beat, a 4-bar beat, and just loop it, and you've got a beat. But to make it interesting, you have to know how to have a good structure, like chorus, verse, or put a bridge in there, or the way you started, or you bring instruments in and you take them out. So that's something that I want to learn, so that you can make your music more interesting and it sounds like you really know what you're doing. But if you know some tricks, which is really quite easy, just taking instruments in and out, yeah, it makes your music more interesting and it looks like you really know what you're doing. So that's what I was doing on Wednesday. I also found out about this show on Netflix called Song Exploder. And Song Exploder shows you how there's artists that go on there and they explain a song. And there's 4 episodes, and one of them was the song Wait For It from Hamilton, which I love that song. And Lin-Manuel Miranda and his songwriting partner or music partner, I think, yeah, he does the music and Lin-Manuel does the lyrics. And they were talking about how they put that song together, and it was really good. And the song is for Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr, I don't know how you guys say it. And yeah, it's really good. It's really interesting. And the other one was REM, Losing My Religion, and that was really interesting too. So it's really good to go behind the scenes and just see how people come up with songs. And yeah, that was really good. So that was on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I watched a bit more of Song Exploder, and I saw the last 2 episodes, which is Alicia Keys, 3 Hour Drive. Because I didn't know this song, I thought, oh, it's going to be boring, so I'll watch other episodes. And this is a really cool, really beautiful song, and it's from her latest album, which I've been listening to during the weeks, and it's really cool. It's very melodic. The whole album is very melodic, and it's very mellow, but I really like it. It's very different to her earlier stuff, but I guess as you get older you change and you don't need such upbeat stuff. But 3 Hour Drive is awesome. And I think on this album, she's got another song. Let's have a look. She's got another song. I've got my phone out. And I think Good Job. I think it is on this one. And Good Job is an awesome song too. Good Job. Yes, it is. Oh, it is. And Good Job is an awesome song too. So if you're feeling down and you're feeling that people don't appreciate you, that is a really awesome song. And it was for all the first responders and the doctors and the nurses and everyone, the bus drivers and everyone who's helping during COVID. And, me being a carer, sometimes you just feel like, nobody appreciates what you're doing, and it's really tiring, and it's 24/7. You don't get a breaks every day, and it was just really nice to hear someone say you're doing a good job. And I shared it with my carer group, and they really loved it too. And the moderator in our group says really awesome. So, yeah, definitely have a listen to Alicia Keys' new album. It's just called Alicia. And yeah, 3 Hour Drive is the song that she's talking about in this episode. But on the album, Good Job is the last song, which is unfortunate. It should be the first song. Really good. So if you want a bit of a pat on the back, listen to that song. It's really good, very uplifting. And the other song was from Ty Dolla Sign, and the song is called LA, and it's really good to get a take on that as well. And it's got Kendrick Lamar. There's another guy that's on that song, but I just felt like Kendrick Lamar wasn't needed on that song. I think he just kind of messed it up a bit. It's just a really lovely song on its own. Didn't need him on there. But yeah, it's interesting to see how they put it together, and that Ty Dolla Sign does a lot of the instruments. So I didn't realize he was that talented. I don't know much about him actually. Alicia Keys. And I made the beat video for Commercial, which is the beat of the week. And that one went up on Friday, which I promoted as my song of the week. I don't have anything else written on Friday. Probably just did the normal housework and stuff, and work in the shed. My hair is getting really long. I'm going to get a haircut next week, so the next time you see me, I'm going to look very different. My hair's going to be a lot shorter, and it's really heavy, but I got really long pigtails, so. And that is actually all my own hair. Fridays and Saturday housework on Saturdays, and my sister came over with my nephew, and we're in the garden, we're at the front, we're cleaning inside, so it's really good to get her help on things. And I saw another documentary on Netflix called Bad Boy Millionaires India, and it talks about 3 billionaires in India that have gone belly up, like they've done the wrong thing. One of them's has been in jail for 2 years, and another one stole from really, really very poor people and never paid them back, which is just appalling that you would become a billionaire on really very poor people and never be charged for it. Like, he went to jail for 2 years, but he never paid back the money, and now he's got a new business with real estate with property, and he's worth 9 billion, and he hasn't paid back these people who are desperately poor. And it's really bad because he targeted people that couldn't read, so the paperwork that he would give them, they didn't know what they were reading. They would just they'd been neglected, and they wanted to invest their money and get some interest, and nobody else cared about them, and a lot of them were in villages really far away from the city. So they were greatly taken advantage of, and I think people started getting really angry when he had a wedding for his son and he paid $60 million for this wedding, and everyone's like, well, hang on, where's he getting all this money? Why has he got that much to pay for his son? They didn't realize, and it really offended a lot of people, and that's when he got into a lot of trouble. Journalists, I found with all these three billionaires that journalists are the ones that have made these billionaires become undone. So you really got to be careful with what you're doing. But they all did really dishonest things, and it serves them right. You're going to get caught eventually. So, and the first guy's waiting has been putting off being charged. They've been trying to get him to go back to India. So a lot of rich businessmen go from India to London and they go live there. So a lot of them have gotten caught from London, and the one guy is in London and they're trying to get him back to India, but they can't. They can't figure it out. The lawyers can't figure it out. So it's pretty bad. Bad boy billionaires. And then today is Sunday, and today has been a really warm day. I did absolutely nothing today. I'm just so tired from the week. Just everything that I do during the day that's not very interesting to you guys, but is what I do most days is look after both my parents, doctor's appointments, medicine, cleaning, maintenance of the house. So it's pretty full on. And today I just said to Mum, I'm not doing anything and you're not doing anything, because she just constantly cleans, as if she stops cleaning something bad's going to happen. And it's like, just chill, it's all right. You don't have to clean today, just do it tomorrow. So today is the first day that I have not seen her do anything other than water the garden at the front, because it's a really warm day anyway. I didn't want to do anything, so I've been watching heaps of comedians in cars getting coffee with Seinfeld and with Jerry Seinfeld, and it's really awesome. Sometimes he can be really rude and a bit arrogant, but I mean, I guess he's earned that. But hey, you can't earn being arrogant, but sometimes he can be a bit rude. But I enjoy some of his wisdom, and he's funny, and the people that it speaks to, obviously comedians, they're funny, so it's really nice. And just to get the stories of other comedians. And the last story I saw was about a comedian, and his father was very famous comedian, and he was at a roast for I think Lucy and Desi Arnaz, like back in when would that have been, the 60s, 50s or 60s. And he was doing a roast, and he did a 10-minute spot, and after he came off stage, he died. He had a heart attack and he died, and that's really sad. And his son didn't want anything to do with show business after that. And then like years later he went into advertising, and somehow he found himself on stage doing like comedy as a joke, I think. And then the bug bit him, and then he started comedy writing, and then met Jerry, and he did a lot of other stuff as well. So yeah, eventually he ended up where he was meant to be all along. So I guess we all take different paths, but eventually we're going to get where we're supposed to go. Even if we're not happy with the direction that we're going. Hello. You just got to ride it out. I guess we're learning lessons along the way to get to where we need to go, and once we get to where we're supposed to be, we have the knowledge that we need to continue, when you get where you want to be, or where somewhere good. So yeah, and today just chilling, got the paper, just chilled, and I saw a documentary on TV about songwriters, and this episode was about Paul Anka. And I didn't realize his first song was out when he was 15 and he wrote it. And it just talked about all the a few songs, like 4 songs, like really famous songs that he wrote. One was Diana, his very first song when he was 15, and it was released when he was 16. And he's got a beautiful, smoky, deep voice. And then he wrote a song for Buddy Holly, which is lovely. But if you listen to the original, it's very upbeat, which is unusual. But then when he did it, he was playing at the piano, so it's very he's a really good instrumentalist, and so he can play the guitar and he can play the piano as well. And he did the song, and it was beautiful. It's much better than Buddy Holly's version. It was just really heartfelt, so he's very good at that. And then he did another song about he wrote My Way, that Frank Sinatra did, and he wrote it for Frank Sinatra. So yeah, that was really good. And he was just talking about how he knew Elvis and the Rat Pack and how he learned and studied. I guess that's how you get to be as good as he is and last as long as he has. So I guess yeah, we can learn from that. So yeah, I saw that today, and yeah, and then had dinner, and oh, saw the block, which I'm really loving. I'd love to be able to buy one of those houses. Really nice. I'm not sure which one I would buy this week. I think from Harry and his daughter. I really like one of the rooms, and even though they ran out of money, I thought it was a really beautiful house. I really like that one. Harry and Tash, yeah. Oh yeah, Harry and Natasha, or Tash. So the beat of the week this week is called All Good, and All Good is a very mellow, not very mellow, it's a lovely mellow lo-fi beat, and it's got strings, and it's got two guitars, and it's got keys and pianos and bass. It's a really lovely beat. And so out of one of the lo-fi packs that I bought a few months ago, when I was just when we were in the middle and the worst time of COVID, and I just got some lo-fi packs and just made a few lo-fi beats, and All Good is one of them. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope it makes you feel mellow and loved, and yeah, chill. So look after yourself, look after your mental health, talk to your GP if you need any help. Contact Beyond Blue or Lifeline. Details are on the screen if you're watching YouTube, or in the description down below if you're listening to this on one of the audio platforms. Share my podcast with your friends or family, or someone you think would like to hear it or see it. Subscribe, leave comments, leave reviews. Let me know how I'm going in the last 4 episodes. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye.
CNS Beats.